Hello my friends, welcome to today's DCS video. We're back in the F-18 Hornet in the Persian Gulf, and we're just doing some shows of force, and
Pontiac 1-1, new tasking. Ship is reporting that boats are approaching. Show of force has been authorized. Target at Charlie Quebec 60, grid 261313 554003. That's 261313 554003.
Alright, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this sweet mission creator who did some really great voiceovers. If you're new to the channel, I post DCS missions, and they're all missions that are part of the public files. I go through all of them and try and find sweet missions that I enjoy flying that you guys can also fly. I always link the description, or link the mission in the description down below. And so I'm just going to write this code down before it disappears. And this is a really good mission for low-level flying, but also navigation, use the TACAN, adding waypoints, something you don't do very often in a lot of missions because they're probably already in the mission editor, so you just fly the waypoints. But we're going to go ahead and add some and jump right into the action. I've actually, if you fly this mission, I've actually kind of skipped over the first part. Originally when I flew this mission, the first half here takes about half an hour to do, and even with editing, it took me about 15 minutes of not much going on, of just low-level flybys. I mean, comment down below if that's something you guys still want to see, but I figured maybe the second half of this mission might be a little more interesting and a bit more into the action. Let's go ahead and add a waypoint though. So I'll go on the HSI, hit the data, and we already have a sequence here. I want to hit sequence 2 just so that I don't mess up the original sequence. And let's go UFC and add the position of the last coordinates. If I'm not mistaken, those were north 261313, enter, and then east 554003, enter. And so now we have a new point on our HSI. We can actually weapon designate that now because we know that's our new tasking for show of force, and it's somewhere out in the distance, and it defaults to elevation 0 meters in this case, so we know it's right along the surface. So we're gonna head out that way. And equipped today we have we took off from the supercarrier, the Washington, and we do have 2 Mavericks on standby, as well as I think well, quickly, it's 5 AMRAAMs and 2 Sidewinders. We also have our flare, which we can take a look now, see if we don't see anything using it. It's looking right at the waypoint coordinates. I don't see anything. Changing the field of view. Okay, I do see something right there. It looks like 3 ships. Just go ahead and move it right there. Alright, so now we're just a little more accurate, and we can go to narrow field of view, and there we go, we have it. 3 ships. So we've been authorized for show of force. We're going to do a low-level flyby of the target. It's 11 miles away right now, but we're authorized for under, I believe it's 400 knots minimum and 300 feet above the sea level. So should be A-okay. We're going to be just heading our way there, and then see if we have to intervene further than that. We do have some Mavericks. I don't know, we'll have to blow at them. Rules of engagement are only if fired upon or engaged, or they are a threat of any sort. These are Iranian ships, so you never really know, but in theory we should be okay, as long as they don't do anything stupid. Okay, so we're just 4 miles out. Let's start our descent. Start increasing our speed. We're just going to switch from radar or barometric altitude to radar altitude. In theory, here over the ocean should be the same, assuming that the barometric or atmospheric pressure is 29.92. So there we go, 100 feet, 400 knots. And let's take a look. They are running away.
Good job. Reading boats and now bugging out. You are cleared to return back to the Washington.
Contact bearing 232.35.
Perfect. So I'm really curious what would have happened. Obviously, we just deterred them with that show of force. I am curious to see if we did shoot our Mavericks, if that would do anything to the mission. Obviously, that would probably create some sort of international conflict. Alright, so we're back here with 3 ships up ahead. I'm curious to see what will happen when we use the Mavericks that we do have on board. I think we'll just fire 1 at these ships and just see. I think that'll be enough to conclude this test. So I'll go ahead and master arm switch on, air to ground. Let's use the flare. We had them on radar that anyway, but there we go.
Contact bearing 255.10.
And we're in range, and it is ready.
Contact bearing
So maybe just
255.10.
fly a bit more in line.
Contact bearing 255.10.
I guess pickle.
Mission
There we go.
failed.
Yeah.
Damage the Iranian boats. Return back immediately. An international incident has occurred.
Yeah, I mean, we could have expected that. That's basically what I expected. That's why we do show force without being confrontational. And check out our TACAN. Yeah, it's 86 miles away.
Pontiac 1-1. Cancel last. 2 times Iranian MI-8 spotted. They're suspected aboard a U.S. cargo ship. You are authorized to destroy the choppers. Say again, shoot down the MI-8s. Patrol the area of Charlie Papa 36 at grid 255429552048. Locate and destroy the 2 times MI-8s.
Okay, just on our way to return to base using the TACAN. We've been given new coordinates with helos that we've been authorized to destroy. Okay. So let's go ahead and punch in those coordinates similar to what we just did now. Let's go ahead and punch in data. I guess we can make this a different waypoint. Waypoint 2 now. Doesn't really matter as long as you don't mess up anything else that you didn't want to change. New coordinates. So let's just go UFC position north 25 54 29, enter, and then east 5520 48, enter. And we'll just assume elevation. I mean, that part's fine. I'm not going to worry too much about it right now. Go back to HSI. We have a new point right there. Let's set it as our waypoint, not necessarily a target, and let's turn out that way. And while we do that, let's just take a look at our radar, switch it from air to ground to air to air. Looks like we already have something about 40 miles out, 38 miles out. So I'm normally, my channel has been mostly air to ground, but you know, you never know what you'll be called upon in a mission. So today might be looking like some air to air. Let's go ahead and just try and lock it up here. If we can. Actually, let's get out of air to ground as well. Alright, we've locked it up on radar. Actually just Let's do 40 degrees just so we're right there. That's perfect. And let's take a look at what we're dealing with. So using our radar and the targeting pod, we can clearly see two two helos. We know they're MI8s based on the intel. And we're just going to do track well scan mode. And now we still got a ways to go. This should be pretty easy with the AMRAM as long as I don't mess up the track well scan. We should be able to get 2 missiles off between the 2 targets. And then that could be a wrap for this mission. Who knows what else they'll throw at us, but yeah, it's really fun with something different. Thought this was just going to be a bunch of flybys, and the mission starts out that way, but it's really nice to do some navigation and just a nice casual flight. I mean, isn't that what Microsoft Flight Simulator has been all about, right? This is just a lot more jet focused and full fidelity as far as controls and stuff, but yeah, I think this is a nice mission to throw in the mix for sure. I'm going to bring my radar range just in a little bit more, and should be ready to shoot right at it. So they've locked us up. We just shot both AMRAM Splash 1, Splash 2. Both helos have been taken down. And they are literally going down and literally splashing. I mean, pretty easy work. Pyac 101, be advised, air activity report around an island. Let's just switch to SA page because we do have a AWACS on station, and that's who's locking us up. Sam. Okay, that's not look like an SA6 or something. Going cold and chaffing. I don't know what else is out here. We're going heavy defensive. I don't know what's out there. There's air activity somewhere. Yeah, I don't need this flare. Can I get RWR, please? Yeah, it looked like some sort of SAM. Okay, but I was told there's air activity, so let's just... Yeah, someone right there. As per the MiG-21. MiG-21. Let's try and lock them up. Get the steering dot in. Splash, MiG-21. And the mission states that the MiG's been shot down, but the news is reporting loss of aircraft denied by Iran after wreckage found. All right. That was an exciting, I don't know, 4 minutes. Where we just had to go air to air quite significantly. I expected this to be an air to ground mission, given that we had some Mavericks. And we're going to do show of force in some boats. I thought maybe they'd shoot at us, but so far that has not been the case. Looking at the SA page, I don't see anything else. I do believe that was the only threat. I think now we can start thinking about heading home. We'll see if there's any prompt, but we're going to start heading that way. Go back to our HSI and look at the TACAN. Why do we have something here on our radar? Can I go back to the SA page, please? There is something else out there. There's another MI8. We saw two of them go down, right? It definitely just disappeared. I'm not crazy, guys, am I? Like, you guys saw that. So looking at the replay, I mean, so there's the first AMRAM, and then we use the trackball scan to switch targets there to the other helo, fire a second AMRAM. I'm not really sure what happened after that, but you can clearly see on the replay. We just shot both. So there's splash one, and then just below it, there's a second splash. That's the AMRAM. That's the second AMRAM hitting the same helo that was on its way down. And I didn't pick that up. I didn't realize that. And I thought I saw some debris in the water there already from the first helo. That was the second helo. But what I didn't realize, and if you look over to the left-hand side, you actually see the helo kind of squirt out. Let's just fly further out and see if we can't lock him up on radar again. We only had him on the AWACS radar, but not on ours. Now we're picking him up again. About 4 miles out. Right there.
Altitude. Altitude.
I just lost him again. Yeah, right there. Fox 2. Splash. MI8. Think? Is he recovering? He just took a AIM-9X to the tail. Fox 2 again. There we go. I mean, how much are you gonna take there? All right.
Good job. Mission complete. Turn back to Washington.
All right, now the news is reporting a tragic accident occurred. 2 Iranian Mi-8 hip collided while on training exercise in the Gulf. Great job. Mission complete. Return back to the Washington. So there were only 2. I could have sworn I saw 2 of them hit the water earlier, but obviously that wasn't it. So we had to take it out and make sure it didn't come back. So, all right, that was a twist. But always make sure you finish your work. And the mission is very, very well built to make sure that it tells you whether or not you've completed it successfully. All right, now let's head back to the Washington. What do you guys say about one last show for us, eh? Let's have some fun with it.